Hey everybody, Rick here. Welcome back to southeastern New Mexico. It's daytime now. Well, we're on to video number 2. We have a lot to talk about, so we're going to get to it right away. And I am going to warn you now, I'm going to talk fast. The reason being, we don't want this to turn into a feature-length film. You know what I mean? So here we go on video number 2. You're a brand new gate guard. You're going out to the job. When you first pull up, what are you going to see? Boom! You've got this trailer right here. This is your common utility trailer. You're going to have your sewer, your water, your diesel, and your generator right there. And that cute little great thing right behind me, that is the honey pot. That has your pump that gets your sewer from your RV into this tank right here. Now keep in mind, not all these setups are identical to this, but they are very similar. Your situation may not be the same when you pull up on your job. You may not have the room we have. If you don't, I've seen it to where people have to have it on the back side of their trailer due to trees or a ditch or something on this side. If that's the case, remember, you'll need extra sewer hoses, you'll need extra water hoses. Make sure you have what you need to make your connections. Very important. Sidebar right here. If you're here in the wintertime, don't forget electric water hoses or something to wrap your hoses. You do not want them to freeze. All right, let's head back around to the front right here. As we pass by, y'all will kind of catch a little glimpse. You remember our nighttime with the TV and everything? Well, now we switch to the daytime out here. So if you'll follow me over here, the first thing we're going to talk about is the most obvious thing here. You're working out in the sun. You need a canopy. You need to have some shade. Do not get the blue light special at the store. Our winds will kick up from 10 miles an hour to nothing. Yesterday, 12 noon, they were 10 miles an hour. 15 minutes later, 35, sustained gust of 50. You need something that's going to hold together to give you enough time to get it down without it breaking. Keep that in mind. You need a good set of chairs. You're going to be up and down and up and down and up and down in those chairs. You need something that's going to be nice and comfortable to sit in and also very sturdy. They need to be like a Timex watch. They need to take a licking and keep on ticking. Also, you're going to need some sort of a table right there. We set a table up there, run power to it, charge our tablets, keeps our phones charged up, puts our snacks, our waters, whatever we need there. Any reading materials we want to have, any of our field books. We basically have a small office right there. All right, so that's what you want to start with. Also think about, because of the wind, we went and bought some stakes and anchored this thing down. Does help out a lot. All right, we're going to talk about the elephant in the room. Yes, that is what you see. Everybody from Texas will know. That is a redneck patio right there. May not seem like much, but I'm telling you what, after a day, you're covered in dust. Before you walk in there, that gives you a place to climb up onto, stomp your boots, brush off. You would not believe the stuff that comes off of you. You need to try to keep as much stuff out of your RV as you can. Plus, you got your rubber boots and your stuff right there, as we talked about in the first video. If you're working in the rain, you need to have those. That's where your patio comes in right there too. When you're working out there, this stuff gets wet right here. It is slicker than snot on a doorknob, man. Gives you enough time to get up there, get steady, knock some mud off your boots before you go in. And not only that, this mud will stick to your boots and it will pile on. It will stick to it's like barbecue sauce sticking to your fingers at an all-you-can-eat rib buffet. So keep that in mind. The guys at the rig, they'll give you all the pallets you want. They just throw them away. Comes in handy. It doesn't look like much, but it's really, really good to have. So now you see I got a table set up with all this cool stuff right here. But what we're going to do is we're going to start with the number one thing you've got to have, internet. You've got to have good internet. Everything you do is done by internet. Your invoices will be sent in by internet. Anything you send to the office, any communications you'll want to do internet, so you have the internet paper trail. So you want to have something good. You're going to want to stream, keep in touch with your family, Facebook, Instagram, all those other things like that. So you're going to think about good internet. Not only that, you're going to want to watch TV. I'll tell you now, invested in Starlink. And I know a lot of people are going, oh, well, yeah, I can understand. There's a lot of money that goes out right there. It's a $600 investment just to buy the equipment up front, and it's $150 a month. So you've got to want to make the commitment. You've got to want to have the internet, which we did. We're able to stream 3 TVs, have 3 tablets hooked up, both of our phones on the internet, and our trailer, being a new trailer, runs off internet and Bluetooth. So we've only had a couple small blips for like 10 seconds at a time. It'll buffer and then right back to working again. We knew what we were getting. It's been worth the price and the value for us. However, this is y'all's choice, but you've got to have good internet. Look into it. Figure out what's going to be best for you. Next, one of the number one things you've got to have here is a driveway alarm. Driveway alarms are important for many reasons, and I will tell you this. When we first signed on, we were told time is money in the oil field. Do not make people wait. Get them in and out as soon as possible. By having a driveway alarm, they can go, you can put them up to a half a mile away. What they will do is let us know when people are there. We're at the road. As they're pulling up, we're already recording their plates. If it's someone we know, we can give them a thumbs up. They never have to stop. If it's someone we have to ask just to check who the driver is, maybe there's 6 different drivers listed. Boom, keeps everybody moving, keeps everybody happy. Good thing. Next thing we're going to talk about, guys, is we're going to talk about lights. You're outside 24/7. At night, you've got to have good lights. As you can see by this box right over here, we found this on Amazon. It was on sale for about $107. It's a 20,000 lumen light set. And basically what it does is it will light this area up real good. What I did is I made some adapter brackets to it. I've actually got it mounted up on the top of the RV now. It puts out enough lights, and people from Texas will know this. Lights it up like Friday night lights. That's a damn good thing. Okay, second, here's the next thing. Video cameras. We installed 2 video cameras here. We're glad we did. Some people might say optional. We say necessity. The reason being, we have a recorded documentation of everything that goes on. If there's an emergency, anything goes on, we have a full video of anything that goes on. Plus, my wife uses it. One thing she tells me, if you're bored, nobody's showing up for the past couple hours. If you want somebody to show up, go use the restroom. She pulls the camera up on her phone. You can see about a half mile down the road on that camera. She knows when somebody's coming. She can try to finish her business up, get out of here, keep people moving. 2 thumbs up and a foot. Can't go wrong there. So, the next thing we're going to talk about after the video cameras, this is going to be a personal choice for y'all. For me, I spent 32 years doing underground utility construction. I've worked on water mains, installed water mains, chlorinated them, done all kinds of stuff. This is your whole home water filter system. We have a 5-filter system that we've installed on here so that we could drink the water out of our tank. I know we've read online that a lot of people don't do it. We do it. So this 5-filter system, there's a 3-filter whole home system along with 2 inline filters that we use. And we also have this cute little thing right here. It is a water test kit. Comes with 2 bacteria test kits, and it also has the strips to test for 17 contaminants. So what I did when we got here, tested the water for bacteria. We were good. Ran a strip. Everything was good. Chlorine was slightly low, but that's going to happen because the sun will dissipate the chlorine as it heats your tank up every day. So I knew I needed to increase my chlorine just a little bit. All the information you need online, charts, everything you need to know. Figure your size of tank. It will tell you what you need to increase it 1 part, 2 parts, whatever you did. I increased 2 parts per million. I pre-mix everything. When the guy gets here, I dump it in. It mixes up as it goes in. Chlorine's just a little bit on the high side, still within range. Helps keep our tank chlorinated, no bacteria. And I do a test strip once a week to make sure everything's good. We have hard water. Hard water's everywhere. Nothing you can do about that. Everything else is good. The water, as my wife has quoted, as Bridget has said, it's better than a lot of the RV parks we've been in. So if you want to spend the time to do it, it's worth it. It's better than going to town every week and having to get 3 to 5 cases of drinking water, bottled water for your coffee and things along that line, which creates more trash, more trips to the trash trailer, which is not my thing, chicken wing. So this works real good. If you want to do it, do it. If you don't, it's your personal choice. Let's get to the generator. This is another personal choice. And then before we get to the big stuff, the generator is good to have. We were going to get them anyways because we were going to boondock someday. What we did is we've opted for these 2 smaller ones, as you can see. These 2 smaller generators with a parallel kit, 5-gallon can, and filled with gas and everything cost us a little under $1,000. We opted on these 2 smaller ones because they're 40 pounds. My wife can pick them up. She can move them around. She can do them. They're easy to store. It comes with a parallel kit, which has a 50-amp plug and a 30-amp plug. By putting both these generators together, making them work together, I can run this RV with that 50-amp plug right there. That's all I'm going to say about that. That is a personal choice. You have to want it. Okay, now we're going to get into the good stuff, guys. We talked about your clothing. I showed you in the first video. Gets into 60s at night. I'm still wearing jeans, still wearing long sleeve shirts. As you can see, this is my day attire. Shorts, closed-toed shoes. This is a fishing utility shirt. It's UPF 50. It is wick away moisture. It is a cooling shirt. It's very comfortable. We've been hitting between 105 and 108 every day here. I am comfortable outside. I mean, other than just the hot air blowing on you, you really stay quite comfortable. So it's something to think about. Proper clothing when you get here. Make sure you've got closed-toed shoes. I would not ever wear flip-flops or anything like that out here. With all the scorpions and ants, you don't want that mess. So make sure you've got some good, comfortable, closed-toed shoes. Next, you're going to want a hat. You need to cover your face. You don't want to get sunburnt. Big brim hat, whatever you want to do. The sun is atrocious out here. It will burn you in a heartbeat. When you get sunburnt, nothing worse going outside the next day, back out in the sun with a sunburn because it does not feel good. Make sure you've got a hat. Make sure you've got good glasses. I invested in some ANSI safety glasses right here, and they do have the readers on the bottom. So during the day, I put these on. I don't have to use my regular readers because I've got everything I need right here. It keeps me from having to change out on and off all day long. Also, goggles. We found a pair of goggles that our readers will fit inside. As I said before, this wind will go 10 miles an hour and it'll be up to 30, gusting to 50 in no time out here. The dust is just, it's the finest dust I've ever been in. It gets in everywhere. By being able to put these in there with your goggles, you still can work outside because just because it's a whiteout and a dust storm doesn't mean you don't check people in and out. You have to work. So beside the goggles right there, we're going to talk about these neck gaiters. These neck gaiters, I'll tell you what, they are a lifesaver. You can pull these neck gaiters up all around your face, right underneath your glasses. They cover your ears, cover your neck. Beautiful thing right here. Keeps the sun off of you. These are kind of a cooling type material. They're easy to talk through and very breathable. Neck gaiters are definitely a plus. Slicker suits, as I've already said, you've got to have your slicker suits, got to have your stuff because you never know if you're going to work in the rain. So keep that in mind right there. Now the other stuff that we're going to talk about is things that you kind of take for granted. Thank God we had plenty of extension cords because we use 4 extension cords on a daily basis. There's one for our lights, one for our front area, and then we put 2 of them together, 2 10-footers to reach out here to our front area. So if you don't come out here with enough extension cords, you may not have what you need to run your lights and any other things that you need to run while you're outside. Just something to think about. T-posts. We use T-posts to put our cameras, our driveway alarms and things on. They're easy to store, easy to carry in your truck, easy to put up out here with a hammer. We use zip ties to zip tie everything together. So what we did is, obviously, you can get them really Harbor Freight anywhere you want. Get yourself a couple bags of zip ties. They will come in handy, and they help you tie down anything you need to tie down, which is good. Flashlights and batteries. I know you're working at night. You've got lights, but there's a tank battery right next to us. I hear noises and hisses and booms all night long. I'm constantly going over with a flashlight to make sure something's not going on and somebody doesn't need to be called. Our job is to observe and report, as you will see. I've heard things out in the pasture, going out there, shine a light. Got 5-10 cows walking by out there. I've seen coyotes out there too and heard them. So keep in mind, you've got to have your flashlight. Plus, if your generator ever goes out at night, make sure you've got things like these little pop-up lights and things, just so you have something until you can get either your generator or until someone can get another generator to you. So make sure you've got the things that you need in case incidents do happen. Make sure you've got your batteries. As you can see, we got a gigantic pack of batteries here, every kind of battery you could imagine. Your flashlights might be rechargeable, but your remotes will need it. And don't forget about your driveway alarm. Your driveway alarm, this is the sensor for the driveway alarm. It runs on batteries also. It does plug in, so you can unplug it, and it will run off of batteries. So you will need that stuff to make sure you can get things, you're just going to need batteries. It's just common. Okay, now, you're outside a lot, guys, and I'm going to be the first to tell you right now, you better wear your sunblock. I have 2 different kinds of sunblocks that I put on a daily basis. I got one for my face, and I got one for my legs and any other exposed areas right here. I've had 2 melanomas already. Let me tell you now, guys, wear your sunblock. This sun is intense. You will burn and not even know it till the next day. Make sure you've got that. Here's another thing that I didn't even think twice about. I knew I'd use some lotion, but I did not know about this. This bottle of lotion right here, it is drier than a popcorn fart out here, guys. We barely get above 20% humidity. At the end of the day, my skin is dry, it's itchy, it's flaky. I'm here to tell you, it sure helps. I mean, if you like being dry and itchy and stuff like that, go for it. But it ain't my thing, Chicken Wing. So, lotion good. The next thing you're going to want to do, as I said, that dust blows, guys. We're on our 3rd bottle of eye drops. This dust is the finest, like I've said. It doesn't matter if you have the glasses on. At some point, you're going to take them off. You might start sweating. You might have a little fog built up. That dust is going to get in there. You're going to need something because otherwise your eyes will be so irritated and they'll swell up, and it's not something that you want to have to deal with. So keep that in mind. That is really good. We haven't had any mosquitoes yet because we haven't had a lot of rain, but keep your bug spray in mind. We do have bitey flies, biting gnats, and stuff like this, so we do use bug spray. Thank God we don't have them. I feel sorry for y'all in Louisiana and South Texas. I know y'all are getting tore up by mosquitoes. I wish you the best of luck. Keep the spray handy. Now, hydration. You're outside. I've said this enough times. You're going to need to hydrate, guys. If you want to go to the store, like I said, and pick up cases of Powerade, Gatorade, Body Armor and stuff like that, that's fine. But where are you going to store it? You've got to store all these cases of water, this Body Armor, and all this other stuff. You don't have enough room. I don't feel like doing that. So we looked online. We found these. These are Squencher Zero. Zero sugar. This little pack right here does a 20-ounce bottle. They are delicious. They will make your tongue slap your brain silly trying to get to it. They are really good. We got a 200 count of these things for $84, but that was a while back. You know, summer's here. You know, Amazon's going to jump the price up, so I'm sure they cost more now. But Walmart sells electrolytes. Basically, you can find them at any of your grocery stores too. Remember, keep your electrolytes. You're going to need them. Not only that, but my wife makes pictures of lemonade to kind of spice things up a little bit. Throws cucumbers and mint in it to give it some nice flavor and stuff. Anything you can do to hydrate, you need to do it because it's so dry here, you don't realize that you're expelling all those fluids because you're not sweating, but you are. And trust me, the body cramps, they're not fun. Next thing is a health issue, guys. This little thing is an H2S monitor. If you want it, it costs $99. You may not want to spend the money on it, but we are downwind most of the time from this rig. Okay, there is H2S gas out here. We're darn glad we have them with us because what will happen is when you smell it, as long as you're smelling low doses, you basically just get kind of dizzy, lightheaded. I mean, to base it on this, you're higher than a Georgia pine. You continue to smell it, you will get nauseated, and if you continue that, you will need medical attention. So it's not something you want to deal with. So for us, it was a health issue. We're glad we've got it. Gone off a couple times. We've had to move down the road. Glad we had it. So keep that in mind. When you take your classes and you get your license, they're going to keep bringing up a field book. We didn't realize how much we were going to use a field book, and thank goodness we bought a 5-pack. What we do is, like I said, expedite people in and out. You don't want them waiting. When somebody comes from the rig and says, I'm going to town for the day, we write their license down, we write their car down, we write their name down. This way we don't have to memorize everything. When they come back, check the license plate off, keep them moving, give them a thumbs up. They love it. If they don't have to stop, they appreciate it a lot. Plus, you have to observe and report. We write down everything we see and everything in this book, too. We've gone through 3 so far, basically 1 a month. So keep that in mind. The one thing we haven't gotten yet that we wish we had, and we will for the next time, is a battery-operated weather radio. Internet is great, but the internet just kind of doesn't it always seems to be a little behind on the radar. It always seems to be a little behind on the information. If you can get a NOAA weather station or something that will keep you updated, because the weather changes on a dime out here, it's something you would want to have, and we will have on our next mission to coming out. So now we're going to get back to bugs again, now that we're outside. You need to protect your trailer and you. What we do is we take granules, we spread granules on a 50-foot radius all the way around. We wet the granules in. We have not had any problem with any of the ants, scorpions, or anything like that yet. Good thing. We first moved out here. We saw 3 snakes the first day. We did a 50-foot radius of mothballs all the way around. We have not seen a snake since. But keep in mind, don't put too many mothballs out because otherwise it's going to smell like grandma's closet. You don't want that. Last but not least is rat cakes. We use this Decon rat cake right here. What we do is we take them, we break them up. Anywhere that you see where the jack stand touches the ground, anywhere it goes up into the trailer, anything a rodent could travel up to get into our trailer, we put those rat cakes there. We also put them on our truck. Springs, axles, anywhere like that, because you don't want something climbing up and getting into your engine and laying a nest, or worse than that, getting up into your dashboard and laying a nest and having babies. And my God, that's just a terrible experience right there. So make sure you protect yourself and your rig. Make sure you do everything outside. Little side note here, for $100, Bridge and I bought those lights, like the one you have underneath your awning. We bought a bright white. Spent about 2.5 hours on one day. We have 2 light switches, the extra wiring, wrapped it all the way around. Most of those animals are nocturnal. So by having those lights on, it keeps them out at night. We have not seen a rat. We have not seen a field mouse. We've not seen anything around here. And I get under there once a week to inspect to make sure nothing, you'll see if something's been trying to chew to get into your trailer. So those are some good things to have. So what I am going to say is this is not perfect right here. And also, one more thing. I said in the first video, we stocked up on stuff to keep us from going to the store so many times. That's what we did right there. We have 2 with food and 1 with this. So you can kind of get an idea. It saved us from having to make too many trips. Okay, so now back to where I was saying. All these products and everything right here, guys, we do not endorse any of these in any way, shape, or form. They were basically bought by us due to price, availability, and ratings. So you may have a better idea of things that you would want, but this would hopefully give you an idea of where you need to go and what you need to be a basic gate guard, just to do your basic duties here. To give you an idea, everything you see, excluding the generator and the internet, and this is not including, I didn't tell y'all we had to buy clothes for Bridget. Bridget didn't have enough pair of jeans, and she didn't have any of these shirts that she wanted to tear up out on the job. So altogether, with her clothes and everything you see here, excluding generator and internet, costs us about $1,400. That is one paycheck. That is 1 week's pay right there. So you kind of think coming out, you're going to have to spend about 1 week's pay to get everything you need. Unless you already have all that stuff, then good for you. Now, as I said before, the generator is going to cost between $900 and $1,000 for both of those. Starlink, $600 to buy it, $150 for the month. So keep that in mind. There is a little bit of an outlay. So I'm going to end with this. Like I said, it's not a perfect list. You adapt what you need for you. If you think you need it, you can afford it, and you have the space, get it. It's better to have it and not use it than to need it and take 2 weeks for it to get here. So keep that in mind. It's hot out here, guys. I'm just going to say this. Be safe. Take care of everybody. If you know of anybody out in the oil field, if you know any other gate guards that are close to you, give them a call, check up on them. It's really, really hard out here on 24 hours a day. Just make sure everybody's safe. So we're basically going to end. Oh, one thing, I did forget about this. Bridget wants me to tell y'all have a hobby. The reason being is you might be busier than a one-legged man at a butt whooping for a while. Then for about 2 hours, you might have nothing going on. Make sure you've got something to pass your time. Don't get out here twiddling your thumbs because it'll take forever. So just to let you know, Bridget's an avid reader, and she goes through books like Joey Chestnut goes through hot dogs at a Nathan Arnold's eating contest. So she kills them. What I did for my time, I decided to take an online class to learn Spanish. After 32 years in South Texas, you would have thought I would have done it by now, but I finally done it. Helps me to communicate with the truck drivers. I'm glad I've done it, and I've kind of enjoyed it. It passes a lot of time away. Have a hobby. Have something to do. All right. So anyways, that's about it, guys. That's it for this video. Hope it helps you out in any way, shape, or form. Just gives you the smallest bit of knowledge to know what you need to become a gate guard. And so we are going to end this with hang loose, as you always do. Be good. If you can't be good at it. And gracias por ver. Adios, mi amigos, which stands for thanks for watching. Goodbye, my friends.